It has been a wild 24 hours in Texas. A flurry of swiftwater rescues in Dallas as a flash flood emergency overwhelmed roads and rivers, flooding cars and stranding drivers. The water rose so fast, even a police officer needed to be airlifted out.
And unfortunately, we are not out of the woods yet. More heavy rain expected across the plains this weekend, and even the threat of severe storms. We will take you day by day, hour by hour, right now on Weather Center Live.
A good Friday to you, and thanks for joining us for Weather Center Live. I'm Paul Goodlow, along with Vivian Brown.
And here we go again. Unfortunately, more incredible video coming out of Texas with the extreme flooding. Now, a hovercraft called into action northeast of Dallas. Rowlett Creek came up so fast that this driver could not escape. Half a foot of rain fell here in just a few hours. This same rescue crew made several runs out into the floodwaters. At one point, they circled through a bank of tall trees looking for people trapped up in the branches. Now, the water rose so quickly that even first-hand responders had trouble escaping here. This police officer was responding to an emergency when the water overtook his truck. A helicopter was called in to lower a rope and pull him out to safety. But get this, he wasn't alone. Several other fire trucks were trapped in the high waters. Thankfully, though, there were no reports of injuries to fast responders so far today. Yeah. Paul?
That is just amazing video. That's a Ford Explorer SUV. Again, we're talking the water up to the door levels of that car. It's amazing it wasn't pushed down because of the flowing water as well. Let's take a look at some of the fast rising rivers here around the Dallas area. This is Rowlett Creek near Garland, Texas. And again, we knew it was coming. We saw the thunderstorms develop overnight or yesterday evening, and we get the forecast the storms to come through in the pre-dawn hours, and that's what happened. Again, after the heavier rain last week, the creek was high, then started to drop down a little bit, and then with the rain overnight, the creek shot up all the way up to a record crest of close to 35 feet, although it crested today at 31.25 feet. Now it's slowly coming down, still at a severe moderate flood stage right now, so the creek is still pretty high. And the bad news is, again, we still have a lot of other rivers and creeks and streams all across not only Texas, but into Oklahoma, into Arkansas, and even portions of Louisiana. They are running high, many in flood stage. In the purple, it's moderate to major flood stage. And we still have flood warnings up for a good chunk of not only Texas, again, Oklahoma into Arkansas, Louisiana, even some rivers here in Mississippi now dealing with some flooding as well. And we're still dealing with this risk as we have more rain in the area. In fact, our Dave Malkoff was in the heart of Dallas this morning during that flash flood emergency, and he witnessed rescue crews in action.
This underpass was the scene of a massive rescue effort overnight. The most rescues throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area that they have seen in 5 years. I'm going to bring you over here so you can just listen for a second. Listen to this sound. You hear that? That's the sound of Dallas drying out after a wild night of swiftwater rescues and people trapped in cars. This underpass, we couldn't even see the vehicles here when we first got here in the overnight hours. Now you can see there's at least 6 vehicles, including a fancy Mercedes sports car, completely covered in water. We could not see them. And the real dangerous situation was happening with this vehicle, this brand new BMW with Sam on inside. He couldn't get out of his vehicle because there was so much water around him. He couldn't push the doors open, so he actually had to, looks like a window's broken here. He actually had to get out through one of these windows by breaking them, and also the sunroof is broken now. I can see that the sunlight has come up. He was very scared in there. He got out, didn't even have any pants on. He just had shorts. He didn't have any shoes because he lost it in all of this water. He had to go over to the convenience store and call whoever he could. His cousin eventually picked him up. This was a terrible night for the city of Dallas, but luckily the Office of Emergency Management has told us that there were no casualties in this so far, and there was no major property damage. Except for these cars, they will all be heading to the junkyard. In Dallas, I'm Dave Malikoff from the Weather Channel. Back to you.
And thanks very much, Dave. And the good news is that there have been no casualties, so that is definitely the bright end of this story. As we look at cars still, again, trying to get out of the muddy waters around the Dallas area. Now, unfortunately, more central storms and flooding expected as we go through the next couple of days. So this weekend, we'll still be dealing with stormy conditions, but there is good news because by next week, things will dry out. Okay, here's a look at the latest satellite picture and the radar kind of superimposed. And we're noticing some rain in and around the Houston area, but the bigger storms basically moving offshore. And we're noticing a drier scenario in central and west Texas. That is good news. However, we will not put our guards down because we are anticipating more showers and storms to come through this region. Notice just to the east of Paris, Texas, crossing over the Red River, we have a narrow line, and this kind of extends over into the central parts of Oklahoma. A flash flood warning remains in effect for Creek, Osage, and Tulsa counties here just west of the Muskogee area. Again, all basically moving to the north and northeast here across the central parts of Oklahoma. So we're watching this region, but it is a couple of other disturbances that we'll be watching as well as they come out of New Mexico and around the pike here of the trough that's still in place across a good part of the west. So as we look at the forecast, we are anticipating more showers and storms by later tonight into tomorrow across the Red River Valley of Texas and deep into the heart of the state. So we'll keep you updated. Paul?
Well, the good news is we are going to see a pattern change here in Texas. Let's talk about it. Again, the pattern we've been stuck in for a while has opened up the Gulf of Mexico. A dip in the jet stream allows disturbances to come. Feed on this and give us day after day, week after week of storms and heavy rain producing in many areas here, Oklahoma, Texas. More than 2 feet of rain has fallen just this month alone. Now we're going to see a pattern change here and dry us out next week. But take a look at how much rain we've seen here across Texas. 2.6 trillion gallons of water have actually passed through the reservoirs all throughout the state. Now, how much water is that? Well, Rhode Island, we could cover that state with 10 feet of water if we had all that much water in that state. California, by the way, again, we could perhaps fill the state with just 1 inch of water. And by the way, all that water could only knock out 25% of the drought here in California.
I got red dirt stains on my boots and jeans, callous fingers from my guitar strings, wild like the wind in the tall pine trees. I got roots and I got wings.
I'm only in my 60s. I've got a nice long life ahead, big plans. So when I found out Medicare doesn't pay all my medical expenses, I got a Medicare supplement insurance plan.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you may know it only covers about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. Call now and find out about an AARP Medicare supplement insurance plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare supplement insurance plans, it could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. Call now to request your free decision guide.
I've been with my doctor for 12 years. Now I know I'll be able to stick with them.
You'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks and virtually no referrals needed. See why millions of people have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP. Don't wait. Call now.
Survival expert Creek Stewart takes me and my buddy Sam Champion out into the woods with one objective: to stay alive.
Hey Jim, this thing's got an espresso machine. It's awesome.
Sam and Jim in the woods next Friday morning on AMHQ.
Champion, this is not camping.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, cloudy intervals. Low 75. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 86. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Monday morning, will rain-soaked and flooded Texas and Oklahoma finally get a break from the rain? And hurricane season begins starting at 5 Eastern on Wake Up with Al and 7 on AMHQ.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you get 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get no interest and paid in full within 12 months on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
Gorilla Super Glue. Of course.
Gorilla Super Glue's rubber-toughened formula holds after repeated drops and bumps.
Oh, thanks.
Gorilla Super Glue for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One A Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
This week we've been showing you pictures of all the flooding in Texas, but you may want to stop what you're doing and see this incredible video. It comes to us from a family in Lander, just not too far from the Austin, Texas area, and you can see a wall of water break through their doors and just pour into their home. Can you believe that? Well, the couple that was inside the home had to be rescued from their cabin, on which sits, of course, in the Blanco River. They described their scary experience to the Weather Channel's Keith Carson and Alex Wallace last night on Weather Center Live.
We saw that water coming out the back window, and, we decided to get up top just because the water had already started coming in by that point through the crack. So it was, get off the low ground, get to the high ground, and that water came through. We were going to be higher than it was.
So the concerned citizen in me has to ask you, Ernie, did you have a higher level you could have gotten to, or a window that you could get out of if the water were to continue to rise in that situation?
So there was windows, but there was no way. There was no way to the other side without crossing the water.
Well, Texas, including the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, are in store for more rain tonight. Right now, though, as we look live, we have just a puffy clouds that we're dealing with. But again, eventually these clouds could give way to rain, so we want you to stay alert and keep it tuned to the Weather Channel because conditions could change fast. Let's send it back over to Paul now to pinpoint some of the areas in store for the nasty weather later today.
That's right, Viv. It is Friday. A lot of people trying to get away for the weekend, perhaps wrapping up their long holiday week if they had Monday off, perhaps taking vacation. And we're still watching thunderstorms now across areas. Lakes, talking about Milwaukee, Chicago, down through St. Louis and Kansas City, and all the way down through Little Rock, East Texas, and also, once again, Wichita Falls, Amarillo could still see some strong and severe thunderstorms, damaging wind, hail, not out of the question with these storms here. Looking at the satellite and the radar together, we're still noticing some cloud cover over Dallas. Nothing right now popping up yet, but out here towards the Panhandle, we're seeing some clearing, and that will eventually fire up more thunderstorms. Right now, seeing what you don't want here in parts of east central Oklahoma. More rain, more thunderstorms coming into the Tulsa area. And you can see this kind of trending from north to south here, or from south to north, giving you more rain. So put a model in motion. Still watching some rain here in eastern Oklahoma, pushing into areas of Arkansas and eventually into Missouri as well. But watch out towards Amarillo, the Panhandle area. As we head on towards tonight, a few more thunderstorms try to pop up. And once again, across the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, right around midnight tonight into the pre-dawn hours of your Saturday. Could see some more thunderstorms erupt. Right now on the radar, definitely seeing a few scattered showers, and still can't rule out even these smaller cells dropping some lightning. It's always dangerous. If you hear that rumble of thunder, get out of the pool, get off the lake, get off the out of the backyard and inside. And also watch some scattered showers here, dropping some rain across parts of South Dakota, pushing into Minnesota. Viv has more on your weekend outlook.
Oh yeah, let's check out the weekend because it's Friday, and of course we want to get outdoors and just enjoy Mother Nature, but unfortunately widely scattered isolated thunderstorms expected near the frontal boundary that'll be pushing across the eastern Great Lakes into the Ohio Valley. So we'll be watching this region. Please factor this into your plans this weekend, anywhere from Chicago through Detroit all the way over to Syracuse tomorrow. But we do think on Sunday we'll kind of include the New England coast, including the Boston area and to New York City, even down to Philadelphia for some scattered showers and storms. The threat increases as we go into Sunday afternoon. Now over the south, again, the tail end of that very same system, bringing stormy conditions tomorrow for East Texas back into parts of Louisiana and Arkansas, and slowly moving farther east as we head into Sunday. So Sunday, a better chance of some storms even for the Atlanta metro area. Paul?
Well, coming up, we continue to follow breaking developments out of North Texas as they're dealing with a flood emergency. We'll get an update from emergency crews on the ground and after dozens of rescue this morning.
There's a more enjoyable way to get your fiber. Try Phillips Fiber Good Gummies Plus Energy Support. It's a new fiber supplement that helps support regularity and includes B vitamins to help convert food to energy.
These are good. Nice work, Phillips.
The tasty side of fiber from Phillips.
The ultimate do-over for wood and concrete. Don't replace, resurface. Behr Premium Deck Over, exclusively at the Home Depot.
Let's do this. Let's move outdoors for the next few months. Let's build a kitchen under the clouds. A dining room with no walls, no ceiling. Let's put it all together. Then, let's get together. A lot. Let's do this. Home Defense ready to use or 10 pounds Bug Be Gone granules, just $6.88. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Hi, I'm Ty Pennington. You know, to build your dream home, you need tools. And the most important tool of all is a low mortgage rate from Guaranteed Rate. Visit Guaranteed Rate online today. In minutes, you can get a free rate quote, see your credit score, and print a letter of pre-approval to go shop for your new home. All at no cost to you. Or you can simply call, and Guaranteed Rate will guide you through the process.
After 4 really bad experiences with mortgage companies, I went to Guaranteed Rate, and the difference was really night and day.
We were going to rent. That was the going-in plan, but the rate was so low at Guaranteed Rate that we ended up buying.
What are you waiting for? Get a low rate from Guaranteed Rate today and experience firsthand the amazing customer service that has made Guaranteed Rate one of the country's top 10 and most trusted mortgage lenders. Call them today.
Call 888-296-3300 or visit grloans.com.
Glad you're with us right here on AMHQ. The whole team.
Right, either go all in or just tap out.
Here we go. I told you, we're going to bust out of this drought.
As we say, keep watching with us this morning because we're all watching history happen together.
I'd almost given up on myself. I needed help. I was overweight, and that was not acceptable. That's when I found Nutrisystem.
Nutrisystem helped me get my life back, and 7 years later, I'm still a believer.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus kit. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist or your money back, guaranteed.
The 50 pounds came off, and here I am still telling you about it today.
Marie is just one of the millions of people who have lost weight with Nutrisystem. Now you can too. Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of specially selected meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes to rev your metabolism, free. And 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes to crush those cravings, free.
Make this be the summer that changes your life.
Call 877-580-THIN right now and get Fast 5 Plus with shakes free.
Monday morning, will rain-soaked and flooded Texas and Oklahoma finally get a break from the rain? And hurricane season begins starting at 5 Eastern on Wake Up with Al and 7 on AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, cloudy intervals. Low 75. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 86. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live, and take a look at this. This is video just from a couple of hours ago showing a water rescue of one of the first responders. That's right, a police officer had to be pulled from the floods near Dallas as his SUV there, as you can see there, is surrounded by the rising flood waters. The officer later was plunked using a helicopter. And again, that water now up to his bumper, halfway through his wheels there, and eventually got higher and higher. And the Army National Guard, Texas Army National Guard, was able to get out there with their Blackhawks. They've been doing what now going on the 3rd week and rescuing even one of the first responders there as well. It has been just one of those months, I guess we can say now, across much of Texas. And in fact, there's been several of those type of water rescues across much of the Fort Worth and Dallas Metroplex area. There's also been gridlock on a lot of the highways because of that fast rising water. Let's get the very latest on this breaking and still developing situation. Tony Hartzell from the Texas Department of Transportation joined us live on the phone. Tony, thanks for taking some time out of your day to talk to us here. I know you've been busy. We've been showing pictures live a few minutes ago of the situation there on Loop 12 as it passed under Interstate 30. Cars were stuck for miles here. What did your crews have to do to try to alleviate some of this gridlock?
Yeah, first off, the first responders did help quite a bit. The local police, Dallas and Irving police, did help try to get some traffic out of there. From the northbound direction, they were successful, but from the southbound direction, traffic just got stuck. There was no place for them to go. So what TxDOT had to do was to find a crane and get that crane to the site and then move some of those concrete barriers out of the way. And that was the relief valve that we needed to do to get that southbound traffic moving again.
And Tony, that portion of Loop 12 where it crosses under I-30, that's a relatively low-lying area in the Metroplex. Any type of timeline in terms of when you can get that water off the road and the road will be open again?
We don't have a timeline yet, unfortunately. We're going to keep that road closed for the safety of the traveling public until we can get that water off of the roadway. The initial reports we got are that where this roadway drains, it drained into an already flooded area, and those flood waters just backed up onto the roadway. So there's really no place for this water to go right now. We've had a record-setting amount of rain in May in North Texas, and so there's just not many areas for this water to go.
And yeah, we have a forecast for more rain overnight tonight, something you don't want to hear, but let's be preemptive here. What's the next roadway that people should watch out for as we have more rain coming in tonight?
Well, this particular location will be the primary one. A lot of our frontage roads, which run beside the highways, they can have some flooding challenges, say along US 80 here in the Garland and Mesquite area. Also, just a lot of the exit ramps as you travel down the highway and then go down to a lower level to get off of the highway. A lot of those exit ramps and entrance ramp areas can become flooded pretty quickly. We are looking at a high probability of flash floods if we get any decent amount of rain. And so motorists need to be aware of that as they enter these low-lying areas throughout the whole region. It's not just one or two locations. It's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, all right. That's Tony Hartzell with the TxDOT, Texas DOT on the joining us on the phone live. Thanks for that, Tony. Again, we'll have an update come back for the next hour, but right now let's take a look as we go to break on the radar because we're still watching more rain now coming on the Chicago area. The good news is these storms aren't severe, but they do have a few bolts of lightning in them. Use caution.
Weather Wellness Program is brought to you by Nature Made Vitamins.
Did you know only 1% of supplements have earned the USP mark, an independent certification for quality and purity? I recommend Nature Made because they've earned the most of any brand.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended letter vitamin brand.
Bridgestone is changing the game in tire performance.
So Will Arnett can get to the store when he's out of diapers.
Well, to be clear, they're not for me. They're for my son. So we should probably go.
We switched Will's tires to Bridgestone's revolutionary Drive Guard tires.
Oh, those look sharp.
It's okay. Our Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and drive up to 50 miles on a flat, so no side of the road.
Well, that's good because the side of the road is dangerous, especially since we're going commando.
Weird?
What commando mean?
Devour food that's good for you. The same way you devour food that's not good for you.
It may seem strange, but people really can love their laxative, especially when it's Miralax. It hydrates, eases, and softens to unblock your system naturally, so you have peace of mind from start to finish. Love your laxative, Miralax.
I'm Alex Trebek. If you're age 50 to 85, I have an important message about security. Write down the number on your screen so you can call when I finish. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. This is a lock for your life insurance, a rate lock that guarantees your rate can never go up at any time for any reason. But be careful. Many policies you see do not have one. But you can get a lifetime rate lock through the Colonial Penn program. Call this number to learn more. This plan was designed with a rate lock for people on a fixed income who want affordable life insurance that's simple to get. Coverage options for just $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day. Act now, and your rate will be locked in for life. It will never increase. Guaranteed. This is lifelong coverage that can never be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Guaranteed. And your acceptance is guaranteed, with no health questions. You cannot be turned down because of your health. Call for your information kit and read about this rate lock for yourself. You'll also get a free gift with great information. Both are free, with no obligation. Don't miss out. Call for information, then decide. Read about the 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. Don't wait. Call this number now.
Call 1-800-355-8535 for your free information and a free gift. There's no obligation. That's 1-800-355-8535. Or visit us at colonialpenn.com. That number again is 1-800-355-8535. 1-800-355-8535. Now.
Make the cash call and ask for the do-over refi. If you refinanced your mortgage in the last 18 months, we can redo it at a lower rate, like today's 2.875% rate and APR with no closing costs. Just call 855-890-CASH.
Glad you're with us right here on AMHQ, the whole team.
Right, either go all in or just tap out.
Here we go. I told you, we're going to bust out of this drought.
As we say, keep watching with us this morning because we're all watching history happen together.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, cloudy intervals. Low 75. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 86. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Monday morning, will rain-soaked and flooded Texas and Oklahoma finally get a break from the rain? And hurricane season begins starting at 5 Eastern on Wake Up with Al and 7 on AMHQ.
Oh, no!
Are you kidding this? It's a pretty devastating scenario.
Homes have been completely wiped off of the map.
Flattened houses and buildings. I mean, that's just devastating.
We've been through bad things before. We've been through floods before. Never been through one like this.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for Weather Center Live. I'm Vivian Brown, along with Paul Goodlow.
Well, the National Weather Service in Fort Worth says over 37 trillion gallons of rain has actually fallen across the state of Texas just this month. That's enough to cover the entire state with 8 inches of water.
Oh, Dallas, you have definitely seen your share, more than 8 inches just since midnight. Lubbock now at the 3rd wettest month on record, over 11 inches and counting. All of the Texas reservoirs, for the most part, are now at some 82% full, up from, of course, 73% just the last 30 days. So rivers are rising high, creeks, streams, everything. Here's Paul with more.
Yeah, the sad thing, Vivian, is we can see more flood concerns again as we head into your Saturday morning. It is this nightmare that continues across the region. Let's talk about what's going on across the central U.S. because we're still concerned with more flooding, and more flood watches and warnings have been issued across much of the state of Texas, into Oklahoma, into Arkansas as well. And they continue to give us concerns, and our forecast is calling for more thunderstorms to develop probably after dark tonight in parts of the metroplex of Dallas and Fort Worth, and come through as we head over through the area as well. So definitely it is a concern across the region. In fact, here are some of the areas here in green for our flood warnings across the region, and that does include the Dallas area. They got hit right around, say, started at 10, 11 o'clock last night and rolled through about 4 in the morning, but the aftermath continued to give us nightmares through a rush hour, and even right now we're still dealing with high water, and some of the major roads around town, like Loop 12 as it crosses I-30 just to the west of Dallas, underwater right now. Look at our flood alerts, because we're still concerned that any more rain will cause more flooding, and it will do as we have more rain in the forecast across the region. But it's not just here in North Texas, into almost the entire state of Oklahoma, into Kansas, into areas of Missouri, Arkansas, even Louisiana at this time. So definitely it is a concern as we head towards the weekend. Viv?
Dallas still trying, of course, to recover from the massive deluge of water this morning. Our own Dave Malkoff was right in the thick of it last night and again today with the latest.
Yeah, traffic is back up and running underneath this overpass, but look at what it looked like just hours ago in the morning hours. You can see that there was so much water in here that rescue workers had to pull lots and lots of people out. In fact, the most rescues that happened in the last 5 years happened last night here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area, including Sam On, who was inside his BMW when the water just rushed him away.
So I was just driving, and then suddenly the car stopped. And then I tried to turn the car back on. They wouldn't turn on. And when I opened the door, all the water came in. So I just walked to the nearest gas station, but my phone was already underwater. And I tried to call somebody. So I called my insurance. I called my police. I called BMW service, and nobody could really help me out. So I'm just here waiting for a friend to come pick me up.
So much much water throughout the entire state of Texas that if you took all the water that fell down in May, the wettest on record, it would cover the state in 8 inches of water. In Dallas, I'm Dave Malkoff. Back to you.
And unfortunately, more water to tell you about in East Texas, even as we speak. Notice this line of storms moving off the coast, but we're also watching over the central parts of Oklahoma some heavier rain skirting across state lines. But from the Tulsa area down to Okmulgee, we talk about very heavy rain, and that's why we have flash flood warnings for Creek, Osage, and Tulsa counties now. Notice that it's basically streaming off to the north, a little bit to the east, but primarily to the north and northeast here as it continues to move in that direction. Now, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, most of the heavy rain at this hour has moved on off to your north and east. You can see that narrow line crossing over the northeastern Red River. But unfortunately, even though it's dry for now, that will be a temporary drying trend, because as we watch a few other disturbances kind of rotating around over the central Rockies and parts of the Southwest, they will kick off into the Central Plains, the Southern Plains, and that means more rain later tonight in the wee hours of the morning tomorrow across north central Texas here into some parts of Oklahoma, into Arkansas and Louisiana. So beginning the weekend the same way we ended the week for the most part, and ending the month the way we began it, with more rain and just massive problems with flooding across Texas and Oklahoma. Paul?
Well, this morning and last night's heavy rain has hit areas already cleaning up from catastrophic flooding earlier this week. Let's go live now to Sarah Dolph in Wimberley, Texas. And Sarah, I know people are still trying to hold out hope to find some of the missing, but 5 days in, the hope is probably starting to dim.
It is starting to dim, Paul, and we talked to one of the civilian volunteers just a little while ago who says he is aware of the reality that it has been 5 days, but that he still holds out some hope, some chance of a miracle. Unfortunately, we have just received notice that there is another confirmed death. That is 26 confirmed dead throughout Texas and Oklahoma, with 13 people still unaccounted for. Now, Wimberley did receive rain overnight. We did see that river behind me rise a little bit, but right now, blue skies and sun, that is giving crews a chance to start to play catch up with the search effort and the cleanup effort. We're talking both on the air and in the ground here. What they've got right now is hundreds of civilian volunteers walking the riverbanks, mapping electronically and taking photos and attaching those to maps of any debris they see or any areas they think professional crews need to come back and take a look at. In some areas, the debris is stacked as high as 20 feet. We've seen branches, entire trees, personal items, even furniture, couches, refrigerators, all just wedged together so tightly by the force of the floodwaters. Now, this cleanup is not going to be quick. It's not going to be easy. And with more bad weather forecasts tomorrow, you can see while residents take a look around, they see the power of Mother Nature, and they are nervous for this coming weekend's weather. Back to you.
All right, Sarah Dolph in Wimberley, Texas. Thanks for that. And again, the big concern is just like last night, this rain comes in at night. The initial flooding happened late Saturday to Sunday morning. Again, pre-dawn. It was dark. We can see more. We saw more last night. We'll see more tonight as well if our models hold through as well. We're still watching a good area of central and west Texas dealing with strong and severe thunderstorms, as well as from Shreveport to Little Rock to St. Louis to Chicago. We have our fair share of severe weather, including hail and tornadoes as well. Tomorrow, there we go. More scattered showers and thunderstorms, more severe back towards the Big Bend area of West Texas, and more thunderstorms pushing eastward across the lower Mississippi River Valley. New Orleans, even Biloxi, you're in this area for thunderstorms as we head on towards Saturday. Then Sunday, finally, we start to see ridging kind of nudges away into Texas. You're drying out, but the crux of the rain, though, pushes slightly farther east as we head along the Gulf Coast states into the southeast as well. Look for a good chance of your afternoon thunderstorms to come through and perhaps alter your backyard plans, perhaps any outdoor plans. Keep an eye on the sky and also the Weather Channel app on your phone.
All right, well, stay tuned because we have so much more ahead on Weather Center Live. Millions across the Southern Plains have to be asking, when will the rain stop? Well, we'll let you know. We have a complete look at the forecast coming up.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. this afternoon. Variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 75. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, partly cloudy. Chance of a thunderstorm. High 86. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
What's up with your car?
Pretty sure it's possessed and out of warranty.
I'm going to cost you a fortune at the dealership, Cheryl. Well, at Midas, our experts will tell you what needs fixing now and what can wait. And they don't laugh at people. I'm sorry, Cheryl.
No, I'm not. I am not sorry at all. Get the Midas Touch maintenance package with oil change, tire rotation, and more. Use your Midas credit card and get a rebate of $20. Go to Midas.com to make an appointment. Trust the Midas Touch.
Heartburn.
No one burns on my watch. Try Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. They work fast and don't taste chalky.
Amazing. I have heartburn.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
Still paying too much for home phone service? Do the math. Magic Jack costs only $35 a year for unlimited local and long distance calling to the U.S. and Canada. And with the mobile app, get unlimited text messaging.
Unlimited texting for iOS only.
There was a time in my life when doing anything physical was a real struggle. I had gotten so overweight. I wanted to hide from everything, from life. So I had to find something that actually worked. And for me, the only thing was Nutrisystem. Nutrisystem changed everything. It helped me get healthy. I'm not just back, I'm feeling better than ever. I'm Marie and I lost 50 pounds.
It's the nationwide launch from America's #1 home delivery diet program, Nutrisystem. Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus kit. Lose 5 pounds your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist or your money back guaranteed. The results are amazing.
People will walk up to me and say, "Thank you, I lost weight. You inspired me." Do you know what? That means the world to me.
Nutrisystem has helped millions of people lose weight. The secret behind the science? The proper balance of smart carbs, plus healthy fats, plus lean proteins that helps you get smart, effective, and amazing results.
People ask me all the time, is the food good? Yeah, the food is good.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of specially selected meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes, and 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes, free. New food selections. Plus, call or click to lock in 2014 prices, and we'll even throw in free shipping. Act fast and get our NutriCurb free. Introducing all new NutriCurb, a breakthrough way to help control your appetite while you lose weight. NutriCurb works with your body's own appetite control mechanism to delay hunger signals to your brain. So instead of just feeling full, with NutriCurb, you feel less hungry in the first place. Plus, get our new expert guides. You get all this, plus free shipping. Nutrisystem really works. Lose 5 pounds your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist, or your money back. Guaranteed.
Call 877-943-THIN.
Nutrisystem has been amazing. It's changed my life, and it can change yours.
I take Prilosec OTC each morning for my frequent heartburn, because it gives me zero heartburn.
Prilosec OTC, the #1 doctor-recommended frequent heartburn medicine for 9 straight years. 1 pill each morning, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
When it comes to food, pets know what they want, and so do we. That's why you'll find simple, natural ingredients like real meat and wholesome veggies in delicious Rachael Ray Nutrish recipes, with no fillers or byproducts. And Rachel's personal proceeds from Nutrish help shelter pets everywhere.
Guys, I said I'd be back.
Give your pets the food they would make for themselves, if they could. Rachael Ray Nutrish. Real recipes, real ingredients, real good.
As soon as the water came through the window, I knew that we were
we were in trouble.
We have a Tahoe and his brother has a truck. We just watched them float away like they were toy boats. Pulled up with a boat, and from the second story window we just climbed into the boat. Me and I was holding my daughter. I just thank God that he saved us, and that I have my daughter and my husband and my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law.
Well, that was Sarah and Ernie Perez, both very grateful to have escaped their flooded home and survived that dangerous flash flood.
And Reagan Medji is in Wimberley, Texas, just southwest of Austin, where survivors described the night their homes were swept away.
More help is available here in Hays County in Wimberley for people devastated by the flood. Behind me is the Wimberley Community Center. You can see everybody, the organizations and the agencies getting all their supplies together. This is a one-stop shop for people needing financial help, housing placement, pet assistance, emotional and mental support. We spoke with one resident here in Wimberley, Judy Thompson, and she explains what happened as the Blanco River was rising around her home.
We were getting warnings, and we were all watching the Perez's, where you see the video next door.
Oh no!
They were out there. The Perez's went home, and Jim looked right out here between the houses. He said, "My goodness, the water is between the houses. Let's get out, Judy." Oh no! And that's when that video was taken. That fast. By the time we drove to the end, the Perez's were stuck.
We're okay. 911's not gonna be able to get to us. We're okay. All right?
See, up at the bottom of that railing, maybe a little bit more than that. But that's why the Perez's then could, this house is a replica. The Perez's couldn't get out the top story, and that's where they got him.
If you're like Judy Thompson or know someone who is, please spread the word. Here at the Wimberley Community Center, a one-stop shop for all your needs, financial, mental health, emotional support. This will be happening here on Friday all day, on Saturday. Then on Sunday and Monday, San Marcos at the St. John's Church. Of course, we have a number on your screen, the Red Cross hotline. If you have any questions, please call that number. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Reagan. Let's talk about how the good news in the forecast will dry out as we head towards next week, but we still have to get through today. Dallas, again, another chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. In fact, we had rain actually impact the ATT Byron Nelson Classic going on in Irving. In fact, it actually shortened the par 4 14th hole into a par 3, about 104 yards, because the fairway is unplayable because of last night's 3, 4, 5 inches of rain that rolled through there. We could see more rain overnight tonight into Saturday, and then again things will quiet down as we head towards next week. Let's talk about how this pattern is changing. A recent pattern, big trough in the west, keeping you cold, even snowy in some of the mountains out towards the west, but also disturbances come through and drew up the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, which meant day after day, week after week of rain. Now our pattern kind of builds a ridge out here towards southern plains and Texas. What that's going to do is finally start to dry us out, not just a day, but for a stretch here. We're not going to have the day after day duration of thunderstorms dropping rain day after day. Even Oklahoma City, southern plains, we start to clear out as well. And again, with some drier weather, our temperatures slowly creep back up into the mid-80s as we head on towards the beginning, actually towards the end of next week. Viv?
All right, as we go to break, the U.S. Virgin Islands offers some of the best weather destinations. 2/3 of St. John is a national park. The island offers great hiking, camping, and breathtaking views, and it's home to world-renowned beaches. Here's a look at the forecast for St. John over the next few days. Unfortunately, rain is in the forecast, but look at the temperatures, perfect in the low to middle 80s for the most part. But again, just take a little light umbrella. We're anticipating some showers over the Virgin Islands. Well, stay with us. We'll bring you back to the States, of course, and talk more about the rain in the Southern Plains. Stay with us.
Best weather destinations brought to you by the U.S. Virgin Islands. Not just a vacation. Learn more at visitusvi.com.
To get one free and $500 toward activities, shopping, and dining. That's Virgin Islands nice.
Need
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you get 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get no interest and paid in full within 12 months on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
That's why we get real local the moment you need it.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida.
Real accurate.
This is round 1 of the severe storms that are coming through.
From real experts on the ground.
That is a gust front for you right there in Dusty, Texas. Wow.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the Weather Channel on.
Here at the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel is out in full force today.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 75, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 86, chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. A government study reports thousands of workers have been diagnosed with asbestos-related mesothelioma. To compensate those affected, asbestos trusts have been established with $30 billion in initial funding. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court. Act now. Call 1-800-950-MESO for a free consultation. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available. Then call us. Mesothelioma. Don't fight it alone.
I love making Sunday dinners, but when my back hurt, cooking all day, forget about it. Tylenol was okay, but it was 6 pills a day. But Aleve is just 2 pills all day. And now,
family.
I'm back.
Aleve.
This is Lydia's new Honda Civic EXL. Today it will take her far, with better fuel economy than a Toyota Corolla. Over 5 years, she could save $1,500 on average compared to a Nissan Sentra SL. But for now, there's a track she just can't miss, especially on that display. And with Honda Lane Watch, it's hard to miss her blind spot, too. No wonder the Civic is the best-selling car in its class. Start something special now with the Civic.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. Right now, get $5 off cans and $20 off buckets of select paints and stains. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
One look at that Red Baron pizza, and you're gonna love it from the first bite to the last. Because a perfect pizza requires a perfect crust. The sauce commands your attention. The cheese begs you to savor every bite. The pepperoni declares you have reached pizza nirvana. And that last slice?
What's it worth to you?
A perfect crust means a better pizza. Red Baron. Love at first bite. The authentic taste of a brick oven pizza. Now available from Red Baron.
Fat Guys in the Woods. New season June 7th on the Weather Channel.
Turn around, don't drown. We say it every time we have video like this, and it comes into the Weather Channel. Now, this is Denton, Texas, just north of Dallas and Fort Worth. This driver testing his luck with the floodwaters and quickly realizing his luck has run out, and it's a bad idea to go that way. Now, you could see more scenes like this, unfortunately, over the next few days. Yes, I mean, so much water we've had, and more thunderstorms with heavier downpours expected today, even across some parts of Texas. We're also watching parts of the upper Mississippi Valley and the Midwest as we go through the day. You can see the current radar does show a pocket of heavier rain moving across eastern Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma, and then another pocket that's kind of sliding through the south central parts of Minnesota. And we've even been watching you, Chicago, so far over the last couple of hours. Even over the northern parts, the lower peninsula of Michigan. Look at this pretty impressive looking line just east of the Traverse City area, continuing to move east. Don't have any warnings out on it now, but it looks a little nasty there, so we'll keep tabs on that. And then we're watching back toward Minneapolis, one pocket of heavier rain and these storms just north and east of the city and south of the city, another pretty impressive little thunderstorm. And then look at the slug of moisture just to the west of you, Minneapolis. So another couple of hours of the wet conditions for you. St. Louis, mainly isolated thunderstorms we've been following so far, but we do think that this is going to pick up in earnest as we go through the next 6 to 12 hours because the heavier rain will be pushing right on into St. Louis. This is the future forecast, and you can see the timeline there to the top, noticing later on this evening, look at all of this heavy rain coming across the western and central parts of Missouri, and we think in the wee hours of the morning, a batch of very heavy rain will come through your area, St. Louis. Now, a little farther south, again, this is northeastern Oklahoma, just to the east of Tulsa. Solid area of embedded stronger storms. Rogers, Tulsa, Wagoner counties under flash flood warnings, and that means that, again, flooding is occurring right now or very imminent, so you need to know where you are around the Tulsa area. If you're in a flood-prone region, then just be prepared to quickly move to high ground because the waters could rise very quickly. And right across the Red River, southeastern Oklahoma, northeastern Texas, we're noticing this line as it moves off to the north and east as well. So here's a look at the future radar over the southern plains. And even though it's kind of dry for now in central Texas, unfortunately, we're looking at more storms that will develop overnight tonight into tomorrow, deep in the heart of the state, certainly where we don't need another drop of rain, but we will keep you updated. All right, let's go back to Paul now. He's checking on the tropics.
That's right, Viv. It is now May 29th. We're 2 weeks into the Eastern Pacific hurricane season, and we have our first tropical storm, probably going to be a hurricane as we head towards the weekend. Take a look and say hello to now Tropical Storm Andres out here. It is well away from the Mexican coastline, but still, it is slowly getting its act together. Right now, it's a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm moving west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. It will continue to move in that direction. As it does so, we'll see a lot more of this real estate here in the Pacific more favorable for development. So we're actually expecting this to become our first hurricane in the Eastern Pacific season. Again, strengthening to a hurricane tomorrow, probably overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, peaking around 90 miles per hour before it continues to move on towards the west and eventually start to go over some cooler water and kind of fall apart. So it's not a threat to land except perhaps the swells that it could create across the west coast of the U.S. Maybe good news for surfers. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic Basin, again, the official hurricane season starts on Monday, June 1st, but we already had our tropical storm Ana a couple of weeks ago. But take a look what's happening here. You might notice that we're seeing the winds in this part of the Caribbean move that way. Other winds are moving this way. That's called shear. So there's no way we can get what we need for a tropical storm to develop is, very quiet motion. And again, tropical storms, hurricanes are vertical creatures. If you don't have that, you have shear knocking it off. It can't grow. You're not going to have anything develop. But typically this time of the year into June, we watch things across the Western Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico to develop early in the season. And if we have to watch it closely because, again, it's so close to land, the good news is we're not seeing anything imminent out there right now. And by the way, on average, we see a storm one every 2 years here in June. Viv?
All right, well, still to come on Weather Center Live, an update on the situation. The city in a gridlock. Details next.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. High 85. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low 75. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, partly cloudy. Chance of a thunderstorm. High 86. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.